sleep, and I would feel something bumping my bed. You know, it's very physical. People, I don't know if people think that they're not physical. They are very physical. I had a picture taken that my roommate took of me, and there is a 3-foot-tall being standing at the end of a truck or a car. And you can see, it's kind of hard to see because they kind of blend into the background. I mean, it's not like somebody standing there. That's not what it looks like. It kind of looks chameleon almost like, and this being is looking straight at me. It's a little bitty short being. It's got 2 bumps on the back of the head. It's got a flat forehead. It comes down, kind of a flat face. You can actually see the coat with some kind of a thing wrapped around the waist, and you can see the hand hanging down. And it's standing, it's kind of sideways picture. But you can see it. I mean, it's pretty clear. If you know what you're looking for, you can really see it. In fact, I didn't see it. Somebody else saw it in the picture. A lot of things that I have, a lot of pictures I've had, I didn't see anything in there at first. I took it to work or something, and somebody else saw it. You know, said, "What is that?" You know, and it's like, "Oh, okay, maybe that is." You know,
let me ask you one more thing here, Lynn. I got a question about. I know we're getting probably close. Well, we've done about 4 hours of radio here. I probably should wrap it up before too long. But I want to ask you, in your experiences with that side of things, was there a lot of prophecies? I would say prophecies. Was there a lot of intel from the dark side about something that could be perceived as a rapture, and what was the general idea that they were trying to push on those that would listen?
Well, that's what I was fixing to get to. If you ask me about any message that they were trying to give me or trying to do, I was chosen supposedly by God to take these pictures of the craft and the beings, and I was supposed to put this on the internet and tell people that they're here, they've always been here, the sky's full, you just can't see them, and they're here, and there's something horrible going to happen on the earth, a pole shift or something. There's going to be 3 groups of people in different waves is what it was called. They're going to be taken off of the earth, and they're called the Christed ones. That was the name. Of course, I was one of these people. Actually, I was being groomed to fly the ship, was what I was told. So that's what I was telling Mark, and I think I said it on the podcast, is that if people don't think and don't believe that there's a rapture that's coming, I don't know when it's coming, the pre, the post, the mid, all that stuff doesn't matter, but I can tell you now that there was so much energy put in to explaining away the rapture. They were trying to explain away and say that when people start disappearing off the earth, the ships have come and got them. 1 to 2 mile wide ships. That's how big they were, and they were huge, and they were called master searchers, and you go up into the ship, and then you're transformed into a light being, and then in 1,000 years, you'll come back here on earth and resume, but you're going to be different. You won't eat anymore. There won't be any negativity. There won't be any procreating. There'll be nothing. You'll just be, it's like attaining God level, I guess, is what they were trying to say. But they put a lot of energy into this, and I took pictures every single night for like a year and a half. Every single night I would go out and go take pictures from the time it's getting dark till like 12 o'clock at night. And this was every single night. And I took pictures, and I took pictures, and I took pictures. And I've got some pretty amazing pictures that I've shown some people, and they say, "Oh, that's nothing." But it's just they don't want to see what's there, you know. But,
and they're pictures of, like, lights in the sky and things like that, right?
No, there's everything. You know, the stars, you can take pictures. Right now, the stars, you can zoom up on one of those stars, and it's like hexagon shape or some other shape. They're not stars. They're like positioning themselves underneath the stars and acting like the stars so nobody knows what's going on. But they can come down. My roommate was gone one night, and I used to talk to them, and I would say, "Okay, make a circle," and they would take their ship, and they would make circles, and it would be orbs. And I'd say, "Okay, make a figure 8," and then they'd show up in a figure 8, and then so make a triangle, They make all these different shapes. And another time I was flashing, and I said, okay, come down closer, keep coming down closer, keep coming down closer. Every time I flash my camera, these gold flashes that I always see in the sky, they got bigger and bigger and bigger because that is the center part of the ship. It's the energy part. Have you ever seen the NASA videos where those round things are flying around that tether?
Yep.
And they're a circle with the circle in the center?
Yeah, and there's like a little slit out of them. Yeah.
That's the energy part. That's the ships right there that I was involved with. That's what they look like. Because I took a picture, and it's up in the corner. It's exactly what it looks like. You can't see it, as far as the way that it is on the ultraviolet camera that they had on the NASA thing. But that's what they look like. And then later on, right at the very end, I was taking pictures, and you could actually see in the night sky, you could trace these things out because they have like a little notch in the front, and then they kind of notch in the back. But these notches change, and they change shape. But you could go in the sky in these pictures, and you could lighten up the picture a little bit, and you could see where these things where they were. They're just transparent. We just can't see them, but they're there. There's tons of them.
Have you scanned these pictures at all?
By what?
Have you scanned them? Is there any way that you can email them to Mark or anything?
Scan
I
them?
actually have a few.
I
have a few. Yeah, Lynn sent me.
Talking about.
Yeah, Lynn, you sent me about, I'm going to say 6 or 8 pictures, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know why I sent you just some random stuff. I need to send you some of the better stuff.
Yeah, one of them, on several of them you can see a couple of, spots of light in the sky that you can tell are too bright to be a star, and it's definitely above the lights. There's one particular shot where you can see that whatever it is that you photographed was closer, and it begins to take on more of a shape of a type of ship. Now, they're small. I was going to put them onto Windows Fax, I think Picture and Fax Viewer, and try to blow them up a little bit, but I don't know if I'll lose, any of the quality of the images because I would love to see them, closer. But I'm sorry.
In that other thing I told you I'll send you, I'll throw some discs in there of some pictures, some actual CDs, and you can have it.
If you do that, I'll push it around to Frank, to Chris, to Ziggy, anybody that wants to see them, because they probably circulate better on a CD, and then maybe Frank or Chris has the capability of getting them up on a website and with a little more clarity. But
you can do whatever you want to with them.
But I've seen some of them, Frank. Yeah, I think.
I never ever. I made the cover of UFO magazine with 2006, I think, and I wouldn't sell my story. I wouldn't sell my pictures. I wouldn't do anything. They tried to buy it. I was like, I don't want any money. And then this friend of mine over here, this lady that taught me everything, she was like, no, take some money. We get our motel paid for. We get our flight paid for. And I was like, no, I'm not about that. That's your deal. That's not me. And I said, I will never, ever any money on these pictures or my story or anything. And that was back when I was not on the right side, so to speak. But, you're welcome to the pictures. You're welcome to do whatever you want to do with them. You can see the green lights on that one ship, the one that you're talking about. That's up in the corner.
I hear that all the time, from people that, I listen to a lot of different things, and a lot of people that are more involved in the, have really bought the Tessarian and Maxwell and all that stuff, Sitchin line, that have really think the way to beat the New World Order is somehow through learning as much tarot and occult things as possible. They are validated by the fact that they begin to see a lot of UFOs all the time, and that validates everything that they think that they know. When it's such a clever thing. It's a deception. But again, if you read through these experiences at aaccoa.org, and you start to see that once people figured that out, man, you could do the same thing with rebuking these lights, and that you could, and the stories are so classic, the way that they found out and the way that it worked. Very, very interesting reading. But they operate with the same rule system, so it's very interesting.
That's wild. Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out. I've never even heard anybody have a good abduction. I've always heard bad, but that's very interesting.
Chris, I think you got a couple of guests on the line looking to chat. Might be interesting to bring them in.
Oh well, I think they're just listening. I think they're not ready to talk, as it were.
Oh, okay.
But,
yeah, you're right. I'm looking at the wrong icon.
Yeah, but if anybody wants to call, go for it.
Yeah, we're going for some marathon radio. It looks like this is just too good of an episode. We'll probably have to
break it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely break it up.
Well, when Lynn called me, I thought her story was really it was kind of special because in all of what I've listened to in the podcasts, the stuff that you had just gone over, Chris, a lot of stuff that I'd looked at, I myself, as I mentioned in the podcast, I have once seen, a UFO very, very, very close, like sitting right underneath it. But that was the extent of it. But I've never actually met anyone who had the stories to tell that Lynn had. And, they seemed to be very verifiable and very accurate. And, I just thought that, wow, I said, people have to hear this because, there's a lot of information here. There's a lot of knowledge, and people can learn a lot from what she's got to say. And it's a great opportunity for people who want to call in and ask some questions, and that's why I encouraged her to call in tonight and get on the line and talk.
Absolutely. Lynn, do you go out and ever try to talk? I don't know if you got a pretty good handle on the computer and everything, but how are you kind of going about trying to tell people about your story and stuff?
Well, I've been trying to do it. I try to do it on the internet, of course, but I used to try to do it back when I was trying to tell people that God's angels are here to take them away. And I've got to change all that. I've got to change all those videos and change it to, I'm a Christian now and I've been deceived. They're not God's angels. These are demons, and I've been deceived, and I apologize, and please forgive me. I deceived everybody else. But, I know God's leading me to do this because he led me to Mark. And, I just heard one podcast that he did, and I knew right away that what I was supposed to do, and so I just go with it. I totally just surrender. I've totally surrendered myself to do God's work. Whatever he wants me to do is what I do. Absolutely. And I don't have to worry about any demons trying to come in here and tell me anything because I keep all that aspect out of this. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep it as pure and clean as I can as far as, I know I get on the computer and I'm going places. I mean, I don't exactly hear God say, find the final countdown or anything. It's just I'm led places, and that's where I go. And I've got experience with this kind of thing because that's what I did with the pictures. I would just know, be at my mom's, and I would know, okay, go outside and take pictures. Go outside and do this, go outside and do that. I went outside my back door and took a picture. And this is whenever I first met Nebu. That was his name, Nebu. Now, what do you know that's Nebu?
Maybe a comet is...
No, Nebuchadnezzar.
Nebuchadnezzar, yeah, okay.
Let's see, first part of his name, King of Babylon.
Right.
Anyway, I didn't make that name up. There's no way for me to make that name up. I would never even have dreamed of that. But anyway, I went outside and snapped one picture, and there was a being standing there, and you can see him. And there's all kinds of other lights, and there's a lot of movement in the picture, but I didn't move. I think the camera was on a tripod, and I shot the picture. And you can see him, but you actually, if you turn him upside down, then it really looks like one. He looks that way upside down or right side up, and you see the legs, and you see an arm coming down. You see everything but a face. There is no face.
Very interesting. Let me ask you this. You were talking about the rapture and how they're trying to link it and spend a lot of energy trying to explain it away or to I've always thought that was something that was always one of the things that really led me in the right direction, even as a kid, to understand that there must be some kind thing to explain it away. Let me run this by you, see what you think or have any input on it.